Dimmer, a 45-point or so turnaround. You're in the box seat. What factors did you put, I guess, the huge shift in momentum down to?
Clearance. 2-17 in the last quarter. End of story. Game gets played in their half, and they defended quite well behind it. The game sort of looked like that for the vast majority of the night. And whoever had control of clearance at various stages got to lock the ball inside 50, and they did it really well. We just had opportunities to get the ball out, but I thought they reacted really well. Got a couple of hands on balls, and we just couldn't manage to get the ball clear of their D50. Sorry, our D50.
8-1, 50-metre penalties. I know sort of that playing on the edge thing's been a theme in the past, but sort of did you feel it sort of crept back tonight? Do you think the discipline perhaps had a factor?
Oh, no question. Like eight 50s hurt, and once again it's eight entries inside 50, so it starts a chain. So we've got to address it, obviously, and we have, but I can't recall. I can recall some and not others, so we'll have to have a look at it and see what it is. Sometimes it's just unlucky. Jack Graham thinks it's our free kick, throws it to our guy, it's the other guy's free kick, but sometimes those things happen. So.
What's the initial feel on Dion Prestia? Obviously,
it's a hamstring. How severe, we're not too sure. We'll obviously have scans, I think, possibly tomorrow. But it's just disappointing. He's had as good a pre-season as he had. He's so important to the way we played. I feel like he's barely played for 2.5 years. So I think he had 10 touches in the first quarter, and lo and behold, we're up and going, and then he goes out. So he's a significant loss, big loss. I just really feel for the kid. He's so important to the way we play, but just the culture of our place as well. So he was really disappointed, and I'm disappointed for him because we want him on the field, but we just want him up and about, sort of thing. So it's a challenging stage for him.
Was the on-flow effect of that Dimmer that you meant you had to play Graham a bit more? I think about 63. Is it match time that perhaps he'd planned given his pre-season?
Yeah, a little bit. That's the cut and thrust of AFL footy. You make a call and you push the envelope a little bit. Jack's had 6 years with us, I think, so his pre-season durability, I think, has been pretty good over the course of the time when he's played off limited prep once before and played really well against Carlton, and obviously losing Dion really, really hurt. So it was a calculated risk. Did it pay off? Well, probably not tonight. But once again, we're paid to make those decisions, and sometimes they come off and sometimes they don't.
What did you put down the clearance? I mean, obviously that dominance in that last quarter, was it just one of those 4-on-4 and...
Oh, they're big boys. Like you look at Cripps, Kennedy. It's funny, I was speaking to Teague about it. All of a sudden they bring in Chera and they bring in...
Hewitt.
Refresh my memory. Hewitt. Incredible athletes, can cover the ground really well, and it's similar to, the re-emergence of bringing in Caddy, Nankervis and Prestia. All of a sudden you bring in a whole new midfield, really. Kennedy's all of a sudden become the player everyone thought he would be. And their midfield just completely dominated ours. You look at their touches, I think they all had close to 30. They'd get the ball, and we sort of knew it was coming. Last week they're more they're low kick, high handball, Western Bulldogs type numbers in and around the contest, but we just couldn't stop it once they got out and going. They're clean, their hands are very clean. We had opportunities, we just weren't as clean at various stages. So, they're playing some really good footy. We've seen it over the course of the Amy Cup games. So, Bossie's got them going in a really strong direction.
So you think that those recruits they've got could have the sort of impact that your guys had in 2017?
No question. Tiggy was a bit flat because he recruited those guys. I said, well, any chance of bringing them over to us? But it's amazing what a spark can do. Look, don't get me wrong, new coach, new game plan, some things they've done, but bringing in talented players like that, it helps, no question.
The dramatic momentum shifts throughout the game, they were pretty stark. Did you put that down to just, is it early season, or is it already a little bit of a concern?
Both sides. We dominated. You think to the left of the coach's box, there was only 4 goals kicked, and the remainder were kicked. We just didn't defend that well, and it was hard because we're on the back foot through clearance, especially that last quarter. It was a challenging wind out there, sort of thing. It was really gusty to the right of screen, which I don't know whether he's picked up, but judging by the amount of goals kicked to the right, I thought maybe you should have. But anyway.
And I guess the luxury of being able to put Bolter up forward, he's shown his wares at both ends of the ground today. A bit of a positive for the club.
Yeah, it was, and that was one of the things we came into the season. We sort of wanted to have that swing man that could go back and forward. We started back tonight and then went forward. I think kicked 2 in the a third, it may have been. So, yeah, he's only going to get better, I think, when he gets an understanding and learns how to go from back to forward and forward to back. So, obviously, Gibcus, I thought, played a pretty solid game tonight as a first game player. I think, funnily enough, most of their goals came through their midfield. I think only one of their forwards kicked one goal, which shows the midfield dominance tonight.
Just a comment on Robbie Tarrant's game. Did, as you say, fairly good job on Harry Mackay.
Yeah, I thought he was good. He got probably rewarded a couple of two strong free kicks, if that makes sense. I thought he controlled the contest pretty well, but sometimes they just don't go your way. So, look, I just thought, we're on the back foot, especially in that last quarter where the ball was played predominantly in Carlton's half. So it was challenging, but it's a step forward. Players coming to new clubs, it takes a little bit of time system-wise to understand how that goes, and that goes for him and Josh. So they'll just get better as the season goes on. But we've got a bit of work to do.
Any other injury concerns other than Prestia?
Prestia, and I think Jack might have fractured his thumb. So all those scans to confirm that. That's why he went off early, and we struggled to hold the ball a little bit tonight. So we didn't fare too well.
Could that involve surgery, or you just
possibly? We'll get more details out when we find out. Possibly tomorrow. I think it may be.
This is a conceptual broad one. There might be a bit of analysis next week in regards to what should be the season opener. 72,000, which was a great turnout tonight. What are your thoughts on that, Dimity?
Oh, look, I'm just happy with fans in the stands. At the end of the day, I love the fact that it's a traditional, grand final replay. I think that's great. End of the day, it was a record crowd for the Bulldogs and Melbourne. We saw a great game of footy. I thought we saw a pretty good game of footy again tonight. So, as long as we get people through the gates, mate, I don't really care who's playing. It's good to have people back. Thank you.